Alright, hey guys, my name's Ethan Polson, and today I'm going to teach you how to do a backflip. This ground is really muddy.
See, it's just like a backflip, but you're on the ground. So it's like a bajillion times easier. So if you can do that on the ground, why can't you do that in the air?
The backflip is technically called a back tuck to refer to the way that you are jumping up in the air, tucking, and moving backwards. It's the same thing, so call it whatever you want to, backflip or back tuck, but it's all the same deal here. This is what a backflip or back tuck looks like from the front. And we're alright, the way you start out with the backflip is you're typically going to want to start with your arms up like this, and what you're going to do is you got your stupid little thing that we do where we go like this and then we go up. The first thing that I think is a major thing in the backflip is jumping up and jumping very high. So the first thing that I recommend learning to do when you want to learn to do a backflip or back tuck is to just start out like this. It's jump really high. So you might want to get a little block, or you might just want to find like something that you can jump up onto and just get used to jumping up onto it and jumping down and getting your muscles strong. And the way that you do this jump is your arms start here. You're going to kind of squat down. Now you don't want to like over squat. You want it to be about like, I don't know, just so that you're like parallel to the ground. So your arms are going to be here, then they're going to kind of swing around here. So your Michael Phelps does his things and his arms go back like this, except for you're like this, and then you're going up. Now the reason that you do that with your arms is because that gets you extra height, because if you're just jumping from here, you don't get as much push. Even though most of the push comes from your legs, you still want to get those arms, because those are going to get you high, and those are going to help maintain the height that you get and not be a dead weight that just pulls you back down to the ground.
Okay, something I almost forgot to mention, but now I'm going to, is when you're doing a backflip and you're jumping, you need to point your feet. And because some people don't understand what that means, I'm going to show you right now. When you're jumping and you're crouching like this and you're jumping, you don't jump like that. You gotta jump like this, because you're pushing off your whole feet. Because when you do that with your feet, it gives you twice as much power as if you were just trying to jump from your legs.
So that's the very first thing that you need to be able to do, is you need to jump high and jump straight up and keep your eyes focused forward as you jump. You don't need to look backwards right away, because that's going to make your flip go from up here to like here. So you don't want to do that. But the second most important thing is your tuck and rotation, which I kind of consider to be the same thing. Because if you can tuck fast enough, it's going to cause you to rotate fast enough. And that's just simply getting your knees up here like this, or relatively up here like this. You want to get that good? Tuck. You know, some people like to tuck behind their knees, and some people like to tuck around their knees. Either one is perfectly okay. Whatever you feel most comfortable doing, do it. I can do it either way. This is what it looks like behind your knees. It's up to you. Whatever you feel most comfortable doing, do that. And gosh, this ground is really muddy. Yeah, so there's number 2. Number 3. Did I just combine number 2 and number 3 together? So we went through the first things. You got to be able to jump really high, looking forward. You got to be able to tuck hard and tuck fast. I think I kind of mixed up 2 and 3 together when I first said them. But yeah, 2 is being able to tuck in hard, tuck that all the way in there, and 3 is kind of being able to do that fast. So, just like doing this jump right here can help you get your muscles in your legs stronger, jumping up and tucking can help you get used to snapping your knees in. So you can start by practicing by doing this. Getting those knees in there really quickly, just snapping them up there, but as fast as possible once you hit the peak of your jump. So you get all the way up and then tuck. or you can do it in any order so long as you're working on it. It doesn't really matter so long as when you do the actual flip, you are getting as high as you can and then tucking and rotating. And so actually, an exercise you might want to do when you're getting used to doing the jump and the tuck is to actually do that on the ground. Now what you're going to do is you're going to pretty much lay flat. You're going to start with your arms here, act like you're jumping up, and then you're going to just bring your knees up. Now your knees are going to come up, and when they're up as high as they can go, you're going to kind of just like tuck, because that's going to simulate what it's like to be in the air and tucking. Because you don't throw your arms up and then bring them all the way down. You throw your arms up, your knees come up, and your knees should kind of come to your hands in the air. So to recap that, just kind of start out here on the ground. Your arms are here, they've flown backwards, they're flying up, and then tuck. You're kind of used to that. That will also kind of help train your abdominal muscles to get used to doing this little like, and doing that as fast as you can every time. That will help you prepare for it. Also, you don't have to look backwards with your head. In fact, you probably shouldn't. The only thing that you need to do with your eyes is kind of let it coast like this as you flip backwards, and then you're going to kind of gradually see the ground and you're going to land on your feet. When you are in your tuck, you need to become aware of at what point you are in your rotation, so that way you know when to open up and when not to open up. Because if you open up too early, you're going to be putting your feet out here and you're going to be doing your flip, and you're going to be flipping, you're flipping, you're like, feet out here, oh! And you're going to die. And my hands got all muddy. Anyways, so don't open up early. Something that you should definitely be able to do is a backwards roll. If you can't do a backwards roll, what are you doing trying to do a backflip anyways? If you can do a backwards roll, then that will help you tremendously when you go out to do your back flip, because you're just transferring roll to air roll thing. One of the other things is you got your takeoff, you got your air rotation, and you got your landing. You're up in the air, you're rotating, perfect, wonderful. You see the ground and you think, what do I do? You put your feet down. You're in the air, you're tucked up like this, put your feet down. Yeah, so you got that part there at the very end where you freaking land it and you're like, yeah. So that might be a good thing to do. As you land it, try throwing your arms right back up. You're doing through the flip, you're landing it, and just like, and then do this, and then do this, and then be like, yeah. Well, be careful when you're doing your flip and you're just like, I'm gonna do a flip, and then you're like throwing your head backwards, and it's like all of a sudden your knees are here and your head's like down here, and you're just like, and then you land on your face or your hands, because hopefully you at least threw your hands backwards enough. So hopefully you're not a complete idiot and you'll take some precautions when you're doing this, maybe, please? Please? I don't know. But also a helpful thing is to get a spotter. Hey, we all love that word because they are wonderful, but they are few and far between, because most people like to sit in their room and watch YouTube videos and say, oh, I'm gonna learn how to do that just on my own. But no, sometimes it can be helpful to just have somebody there who can spot you. So do that. Yeah, I think I covered it all. Da 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 do.